But let's move into the next topic. We are talking about LeBron James and where he will sign. Now, it's not for sure that he is going to sign anywhere. I believe June 29th is the last day he has to either accept his option or decline his option. We haven't really heard much about what he is going to do. People are most likely assuming, though, he's going to decline and at least test free agency. The one thing, though, is if he does want to stay in Cleveland, if he wants to at least secure as much money as possible, he will most likely accept, because then I think it's going to work into getting the most max money as well. I mean, because that's going to be his final max, if I understand that correctly.
Until they write a new CBA.
Until they write a new CBA.
Him and CP3.
And also, I think if he accepts now, it's going to be more money this year than a first year of his contract. I think he would make $35 million this year. I know it's a million difference, not too much to a king.
35.6.
But yeah, it's 35.6 compared to, I think, like 34.9 or something like that. So not too much of a difference, but if he's going to accept, he's most likely going to take the more money. So we'll see what happens on June 29th, but we can still talk about it, because if he declines, that's going to open it up to where is he going to go. And also, if he accepts, we could still talk about, I think he might accept, but you obviously think he's going to go to LA.
Do you think he lets him know ahead of time? Do you think before the draft, the Cavs know what they're doing?
No.
That's just not a LeBron James thing.
I don't think so. I don't think LeBron knows what he's doing right now.
Total
I think he has an idea, but I think he's going to take time, especially after the draft of what every team does, especially with this Kawhi Leonard news. I think he's going to take all the damn time in the world, because it's LeBron James, and teams are going to make moves to clear up space for LeBron James. All 29 teams will do it in a heartbeat. If LeBron James is like, hey, I'm going to Utah, they will clear up as much money as they possibly need to get in there. Phoenix, same thing. Every team will clear up that money to get LeBron James. Same with Milwaukee or any small market team. They're going to do what it takes to get LeBron James in. So let's talk about it. Where will LeBron James sign? This is our hold me to prediction. So whatever happens, we know Kawhi Leonard's on the table. We know Paul George is on the table. Chris Paul is possibly a possibility of being on the table if he wants to decline out of his option. Where will LeBron James go, Ricky Brewer?
I'm going to say my hold me to him is the Lakers, but there's kind of three teams that I went through to get to that one team. Well, four teams. I'll put the Cavs in there. Cavs, I'm saying no right away, because it comes down to, if it is the Cavs, he's going to have to opt in, and then basically it's I'm staying here to then do this all again next year. I don't think he does that. I think that the game one of the finals has put such a bad taste in his mouth when it comes to this team that he's probably thinking, hey, you know what? We tried to orchestrate trades to completely redo this team. We're not going to be able to do that again. It's not going to help us. Yeah, we can get to the finals because of me, but we're not going to beat the Warriors with whatever we can work with in Cleveland. Then it leaves three other options for me. Stay in the East, go to the 76ers. But for me, the whole thing with that, and I don't know if I completely buy this, when people are like, oh, but LeBron James doesn't like to play with younger players, and Ben Simmons is younger, and Embiid is younger. It's interesting to me. Although they're third, I would still say no, and that's because the West, you have the Rockets, who really the best chance to beat the Warriors next year would be join the Rockets somehow. And Morey's going to do whatever in his power, trading Ryan Anderson, getting P.J. Tucker out of town. He'll do whatever. He'll move the moon and the stars to get LeBron in a Rockets jersey. No Rocket Man, pun intended, but that's his best chance to beat the Warriors, him, Harden, CP3. However, I think that's not going to work. He is going to end up in LA because his wife, I'm going into that of, if she told him Cleveland or LA, I would choose LA over Cleveland, especially if I was on that team and what happened in the finals.
LeBron has enough money to just, I know it'd be horrible for him, but I mean, he has enough money to just have his family live in LA. I mean, if it's that much of a problem.
Yeah. Well, they have houses out
exactly.
there.
So, I mean, I don't understand the choice there. I mean, if LeBron wants to make money and LeBron wants to at least, make the most of his career, I think he's probably going to do what's best for him outside of an ultimatum of a weird report saying that his wife gave him an ultimatum of Cleveland.
And I just think if that's true, it's just probably his wife saying, hey, we're not moving to Houston. We're not putting our kids in new schools. We're not putting them in new places in Philly, Houston. We have houses here. We have houses here. Pick one. There are two teams you want to go to. Pick one. If that's the case, LA's the easy choice.
Dave, where do you think LeBron James will end up?
I mean, the Warriors.
It could happen.
It's the ultimate answer because the
sign
NBA,
and trade Kawhi and Draymond for
Kawhi
LeBron.
and Draymond.
Or not Kawhi, Clay. We just talked about Kawhi.
I just think he takes a vet min racks up with the Warriors and just gives a big old middle finger to Adam Silver.
If that happens,
Yep.
do they play the season?
Oh yeah, I think they do.
How many do they win?
I think they do it for fun because
They
that's
do
a
it
team.
for fun.
That's a team that could walk away with like 75, 76.
Do they have a rotation where they have guys who just sit off every single night? Like Steph takes a couple nights off.
I think
KD
they
steps
do.
up.
I think they go full Popovich on it. You get some DNPs on there because guess what? You can't DNP the whole team. So look, you get national TV games regardless. You're gonna have
LeBron
two
and
All-Stars
KD
out there.
switch off the national games.
You get at least two All-Stars showing up to any given TV game. It's well worth it.
Do they need to get rid of Draymond and Clay for that to happen?
No, if he takes
It's
a vet
close.
minimum, no.
Yeah, but if he
like
takes,
if
he
you need
opts
to take the
in,
max.
if he opts in,
If we do a sign-in trade.
then that would probably be. It would either be like a Clay and Iggy or a Clay and Draymond for that to work.
I wouldn't do Clay and Draymond. I know it's LeBron James, but why would I do that?
Because
I already
Cleveland,
have a
that's all
team that's winning the
Cleveland would
NBA
want.
Finals.
Yeah.
I already have a team that's winning the NBA Finals. Why would I give that up?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
wouldn't
would
do
move Draymond.
It's weird
my next
saying that,
three
but-
first rounders and like Andre Iguodala.
To get LeBron?
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
So you'd move all three? Or no, Draymond and Andre is what you
Draymond-
said. Okay. See, that's interesting to me only
Draymond,
because
AI, and three first rounders.
the thing that's interesting to me about that is Draymond still has next year and the year after on his contract.
Yep.
Clay's up at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Do you
but
think
I
you're
don't
going to
like
re-sign
Draymond.
Clay?
Yeah. I think I'm re-signing Clay with that team.
So it's just Dave not liking Draymond, wants to
Yeah.
get him out of town.
I respect the hell out of him. He's an amazing player.
I don't
But
think.
you need LeBron to play the four.
I don't think Bron's going to the Warriors, and I think it's just because
He's
his,
gonna
his
meet
whole
with them,
legacy
though.
is
I'm
going to be
just
based
saying,
on.
if you want to
can-
win a championship,
well, of course, but my thing is,
what
that
does he want to do the most? What gives him the highest percentage to win? It's the same answer.
what's going to help his legacy more? If he joins the Warriors and wins, or if he beats the Warriors and wins?
If he would join the Bulls and win, that would help his legacy the most.
Okay, here's my thoughts.
We got the money.
Is I think the biggest thing for LeBron James is not getting rings per se. It's just helping his legacy.
Is it win in
So,
front of Jordan? Does he
it's-
go to Charlotte?
I don't think it's going to Charlotte.
Brooklyn.
I don't think it's following
I'm
shadows.
just saying. No,
I think
'cause
it's
you play
about
under Jordan.
I think it's about making sure that you can bring something to that we haven't seen in the NBA for a while. And it's not winning rings per se. It's not winning a certain amount of titles. Going to 9 straight finals is going to be something that I think is on the table. So this has to be a team that's going to be making the playoffs this year. So I think that's going to be factoring in. And I'm saying with the talent they currently have. So I'm looking at the Bulls, and I'm taking the Bulls off. I don't think he's going to Chicago. So anyone with a pipe dream like that, I don't think you should look into that.
Not I said, Ricky.
I'm not going to take the Knicks off right now, but I think the Knicks are definitely in that camp and endangering very closely to that camp of not having enough talent there. But it is the East, so that's why I will throw that there. Because LeBron plus a couple shooters on that team, maybe they can get something to work out there. The other team is the Lakers, because I don't think they're getting Kawhi Leonard. I just stated that. I think they're going to ship him off to the East, and I don't think he's going to be playing with Kawhi Leonard. And maybe you get Paul George. But then it's really factoring in, you're going to be getting rid of players if you're getting Kawhi. And so you're going to have at least LeBron and PG-13. We know that with Lonzo, B.I., and Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart, these players, and also their 25th pick. But I don't know, again, if there's going to be enough talent on that Laker team to beat the Warriors. So you're not going to get to the finals. So I think you have enough talent to make the playoffs and then also at least make the finals. And I don't think they're going to have enough talent on that team with PG and LeBron to make it to the finals to beat the Warriors. So that's why I'm taking the Lakers off there. Also,
Conference
I don't
finals
think it's
to
going
beat
to
the
happen.
Warriors.
Yeah, conference finals beat the Warriors.
Are the Rockets then the best choice then?
Well, I have these teams out there.
Okay.
I have the Cavs. I think that it's out there just because you just did it.
Yep.
So I don't think it's his number one option, but I think it's on the table. I think the 76ers clearly on the table. I think that the Celtics are even on the table, and I think the Rockets are on the table. I'll throw the Knicks out there as well. And the Knicks are the simple pitch for the Knicks is they haven't won since 1973. You're going to one of, if not the biggest market in the United States. You are going to the Mecca. You are going to New York, a place there LeBron did not win, or Michael Jordan did not win a championship, clearly because he didn't play there. They don't have that god like Lakers have Kobe. They have Magic. Bulls have Jordan. Knicks don't have that. They have Walt Frazier. No offense, Walt, but you're not LeBron James.
I mean, Phil Jackson.
So if
And Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
But he's not LeBron
He's
James.
not
Yeah,
LeBron
I'm not.
James.
Don't give me that look. I'm not saying they're in the same
if
conversation.
LeBron is and Ewing didn't bring a title. So if
Phil
LeBron
Jackson.
brings a title to shut up. If LeBron brings a title to New York, he is going to build that legacy because now you're having all these people on the East Coast understand what he's doing, and people are going to see the power of LeBron James. I just don't think they have enough talent.
Plus, it brings a Boston-New York rivalry with the Celtics and the Knicks.
Well, that's not even going to be a rivalry if LeBron goes to the Celtics or
but if he goes to the Knicks,
yeah, but I don't know about that. I think
Boston and New York, they hate each other, man.
The other team would be the Celtics. And you have a legacy. You'd probably be the best player to put on a jersey there. But again, you're going up against Bill Russell, who has 11 titles. Larry Bird, who has multiple titles. You're going up against Paul Pierce, who was the captain for a long time.
Or
so that's a lot.
That's a lot
to really pull away from.
Or
so
just
Boston
to screw
isn't
with
really
Kawhi.
a team.
Or not Kawhi, Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
I got Kawhi on
and
then
then
I don't know why.
the other team, and these are the two teams I think are most likely. The Rockets and 76ers. Yes, the Rockets have Hakeem. But LeBron coming, beating the Warriors, that's the stuff of folk tales. With James Harden, an MVP, and CP3, his best buddy, I think that definitely plays into it. So I think the Rockets are a team that he can really build his legacy with, and the 76ers are another one, and it's a two-pronged thing because, yes, they have Dr. J, but outside of that, they don't have an NBA legend because they were solely in the ABA for such a long time. So if he wins a title there, that's going to be something that propels him. But also, the biggest thing is that young player thing that you brought up. If he's able to nurture Ben Simmons, if he's able to nurture Joel Embiid, and they're able to win even after LeBron's gone, I think that enhances his options because Jordan didn't leave the Bulls in a great place. He didn't leave the Wizards in a great place.
No.
So I think that's
Has
something
LeBron
that
ever nurtured a young player?
No,
LeBron
I think
hates
that's going to
young
feed
kids.
into. That's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is going to feed into that narrative, that legacy. If he's able to take these young players to different heights.
It'd be a good way for him to end out his career.
I think it's something that it's going to leave a nice taste in his mouth because, or a nice taste in people's mouth because you just left Philadelphia in a great spot. You won championships with them, and you brought
because he's playing with little Bron,
and they'll probably have picks at that point as well with the process. So I would say 76ers are number 1, Rockets are 2, Lakers are 3. Even though I said not the Lakers, but I'll throw the Lakers in there just because that's the favorite right now in Vegas. And then the Celtics at 4. I think that the 76ers do have a great shot to sign him just because if I was looking at it from LeBron, if I'm trying to build my legacy, Philadelphia might be the best place to do so.
Here,
because you're going to get to the finals. You're going to get 9 straight finals. Then you're going to just have to beat the Warriors. You're still on a young team. You have the ability to push Joel and Ben to some heights they've never thought they could reach before.
I like what you're saying.
I think that could be one thing.
I agree with you that it comes down to this move for LeBron is all about what's it going to mean for his legacy. And I like the whole cute thing you did with you bring in this player here, this player. Yeah. But to me, I feel like with LeBron's legacy, because although there are some people that have him number 1 greatest of all time, I'm not getting into that debate, but I'm going to say this. For the general consensus that has Michael number 1, you're not going to change their minds. It's your number 2. So it's not. I'm not chasing Michael Jordan. I'm not chasing more championships at this point. Wait,
if he wins 4 or 5 more titles, it's better than Jordan.
Just give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
It's not necessarily I need to win 5 titles at this next place I'm going to. If I can go somewhere and beat the Warriors once.
He's already beat the Warriors once.
No. But I'm saying again with this KD team.
Oh, okay.
Because ever since they got KD, I can't beat them. If I can beat this KD Warrior mashup, then that was LeBron personal legacy, not legacy of compared to anyone else.
Yeah,
personal legacy. I got over the mountaintop, and for me, the 2 teams that do the best, I'll put the Sixers at 3. But to me, it's the Lakers at 2 if they get the Kawhi Leonard trade. But number 1 in that scenario is the Rockets.
Okay.
CP3, James Harden, LeBron James with that Rockets team. They almost did it without LeBron. They'll do it with LeBron.
Now, that's one thing that I don't have this problem with the Rockets because, again, CP3 is buddies with LeBron, and they know what's coming there. And I think James Harden wants to get over that hump.
Yep.
So James Harden might not be. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Get over the hump of beating the Warriors. So I think James Harden is a guy that I think he wants to really define himself, and having LeBron James, it might be something that they don't clash right away because I think Harden wants it to be his team. He's been the guy there for the longest, so that might be something that bashes. But I think that they'll be able to separate that out.
Plus, he can play off ball with Harden and CP.
The one thing though with the Lakers is one, I don't know how much I trust the playmaking skills of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to have him play off ball. and especially if they get rid of Lonzo in that deal, where is the playmaking going to come from? It's going to come from LeBron James. And then also the other thing with that is how will Kawhi, LeBron James, and PG3 work together? Because it seems like Kawhi wants to be the guy. If he's playing behind LeBron James, he's not going to be the guy, and it's not going to be even close. And with PG13, I think there's probably a close argument on who will be the guy, or at least the second guy, because yes, again, who's talented, who's more talented? Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
But playoff experience, Paul George has a pretty decent amount of playoff experience. He's been healthier, and he's older. And the other thing is, I know they're both from LA technically, but Paul George has been kind of the guy that's been, kind of building up LA basketball. I don't think a lot of people know that Kawhi's even from LA. And we're also talking about personalities. Kawhi doesn't have that big of personality. Let's look at that Warriors team.
Where are you pulling?
Clay's a very quiet guy. Clay's the third guy on that team. He was even the third guy on that team even when KD wasn't there because Draymond was such a outgoing personality. Kawhi's probably most likely going to be the third guy on that team just because people are going to view it that way. He might not be the third best player, probably the second best player
on the
PG-13,
upside,
but it's something that I don't know how it's going to work because Kawhi might see himself as an alpha, but he's not going to be an alpha on that team.
Where are you pulling the thing that he wants to be the number one guy?
I feel like that's why wouldn't you want to be the number one guy? Like the one thing with that is he's already technically he's already the number one guy in San Antonio, but he probably feels like it's Pop's team, not his team. I feel a big thing about Kawhi is that I'm not pulling you from anywhere. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck Kawhi wants out.
So
Kawhi on
don't
the floor
see that's
is the
the
guy,
thing. That's why
but then again, it's like it's with that is like people were wondering why didn't they trade LaMarcus Aldridge? They were thinking about that, and Kawhi and LaMarcus didn't work together. So we were thinking maybe that was something that Kawhi was pushing for. He wanted him out. I don't know what's going on with Kawhi, and maybe he wants to be the guy. So if they go and get Kawhi Leonard, and then they bring in LeBron James, they bring in Paul George, that's competition for them. I don't know how those are going to work out. And then also, how is Luke Walton going to deal with that? Because let's look back at the first big three that LeBron was part of. Chris Bosh, D-Wade, LeBron, they all wanted to play together. They all put that together to make sure they played together. And even then, it still didn't work right away. Spoelstra almost got canned for it. And even then, the first year, they didn't win a title. So if they beat the Warriors and then get to the finals and Boston beats them, could you imagine the outrage there? Or if they lose to the Warriors again in the Western Conference Finals, then that hurts LeBron's legacy more because he didn't go to 9 straight finals. So that's something that, again, you put together this huge super team, you left your hometown again, LeBron, you went to LA, and you still couldn't beat the Warriors. That's going to hurt his legacy even more. So I think if he goes to the finals, goes with a young Philadelphia team, and they get this close to beating them, that's going to help his legacy more than going and building a massive super team in LA and, again, losing to the Warriors.
But what if he goes to Philly and he loses to the Celtics? Because a healthy Kyrie Irving, healthy Gordon Hayward.
But what do you think is more
maybe a Kawhi.
More possible? That those three, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James, get together.
I think that they can work together. I think you're overplaying that because if there's one coach that you'd want, and if it's not Steve Kerr, you want the guy who learned under Steve Kerr, who learned how to manage superstars together and actually coached for more than half a season because of Steve Kerr's health. You take Luke Walton. There's a guy who is a players first coach. He's a guy who lets players go out there, do their thing, and with 3 veterans who 2 are defensive stalwarts, probably top 5, top 10 defensive players, like two-way players in the league right now, top 5 for sure. LeBron James can pick and choose when to take plays off on defense. LeBron James can focus more on making sure the ball movement on that offense is fantastic. You're not dealing with a Russell Westbrook and a pissed-off Paul George because he doesn't get touches. You're dealing with one of the most unselfish players in NBA history, and with a head coach who wants it to be very team ball. He doesn't want it to be like he's not a by the numbers kind of guy. So I think that like as far as perfect setups go, that's a pretty good situation. I think I could see like all 3 of them averaging like 20 points a game.
And to be honest, like their whole organization with the Lakers is starting to remind me, if they get the big 3 that they want, will almost remind me of an LA version of Miami, where it's like Luke Walton fills that Spoelstra role, Magic Johnson fills the Pat Riley exec role, and then you got your Kawhi PG3. No. I'm not saying like
he's a public figure. Yes, they're both public figures. That's as far as that goes.
That used to be in the NBA.
I'm saying the big name in the front office. I'm not saying they've done the same thing.
Like
I'm
how
saying
smart they are.
the LA version of that.
Yeah.
And then you have this big three with Kawhi, PG-13, and LeBron.
But if it's then in the same version, then they're not going to win the title in the first year.
Can they surround them with good veterans? Because that's the thing that goes underrated about the Warriors is the
Iggy,
amount of veteran presence. Iggy, Sean
David
Livingston,
West.
David West, Zaza, guys who actually have that experience in their career.
Even on that Heat team, Mike Miller, Ray Allen,
Shane Battier.
Let's look at that LA team right now.
Birdman.
Who's it gonna be? Oh, you're gonna depend on Lonzo. You're gonna depend on Brandon Ingram. You're
Plus
gonna depend on
Luol
Kuzma.
Deng. Lonzo might not be there.
Luol
if they
Deng's
get
gonna be
Kawhi.
gone if they need to work out that contract situation.
No, it's
Brook
fine.
Lopez is
Play
gone. They
Luol
can't bring
Deng.
him back. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna rely on those three
That's
guys.
what I'm saying. You got to find.
And here's the thing: those three guys. Again, I know LeBron James is the guy that doesn't get injured, but Kawhi Leonard, how healthy is he? And then look at
He's
Paul
had a
George.
year off.
Paul George had that freak accident where he snapped his leg in half. So I mean, I guess
Yikes.
anything can happen. So then, if you don't have veterans on this team, you're relying on young players.
Yeah.
Then you look at that LA team, and if one of those guys go down, then you're fucked. So with Philadelphia, you have again. I understand the most what's it called? Injury
prone man in the NBA.
Prone team in the NBA with Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. But also that team is deep. If they're able to keep around Marco, Dario, if they're able to keep around go to Ersan Ilyasova, they're able to bring back JJ Redick. I mean, that's going to be a deep. Even TJ McConnell. Like they have a deep amount of talent on that team. Where LA, it's going to be guys that need to step up. And I don't know where are they going to bring that back? That like 8th grade teacher that was hitting threes for the Lakers in that D League. Like who are they going to be the guys on this team?
Was it some Andre
Hawkins?
Ingram?
Yeah, Andre Ingram.
Yes.
It's just with the Lakers, I feel like if you get those three, they'll build it. Like Revenge of the Nerds. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, I think they'll draw veterans in this
Field of
league.
Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I was saying
Revenge of the Nerds.
They're completely
Field
different
of
movies
Dreams, not
and
even
genres.
close.
I got the quote right, the movie wrong.
Yeah.
But but that's like saying
If you
like,
build it, they will come.
that was
though.
like, oh yeah, touchdowns are
So who's the guy they're going to bring in?
Equestrian.
Is Jamal Crawford, the ghost of Jamal Crawford's going to sign
and
with
that's
them?
the answer. I don't know. I just
Yikes.
know that
Yeah,
if
that's what
they
I'm saying.
do
Like,
build
who
it,
do you go?
there will be veterans that want to
Does
come.
David
Do
West
they need
roll
to
the
be?
dice?
They need to be quality.
No, I
veterans.
know.
Like Andre
I think
Iguodala
quality
was an
veterans
all-star
would
in
want to play with
Philadelphia.
those three, mainly
Sean
just
Livingston
for
was a
LeBron.
top 4 pick, like, and he broke his leg in one of the grossest
Yeah.
injuries in NBA history. But he still had talent. Like you're bringing in old, riddled injury guys like Jamal Crawford and guys who can't play anymore.
The thing I find the funniest
Derrick
though
Rose.
is I think it was today or yesterday you had Kobe
Playoff.
come out with this thing where it's basically like he's basically telling LeBron like, oh yeah, if you come here, don't forget this is my team.
That's the thing
and
too.
It's one of the things where I started laughing like Kobe,
'Cause now-
I love you, but it's Jordan, LeBron, and then a bunch of players, and then Kobe.
But in LA, now you're going to have to start against it's LA LeBron versus LA Kobe. And you're also going to have to go up against Magic. And you're going to have to go up against Kareem. And you're going to have to go up against Shaq. Like you think these LA guys from the 80s are going to be like,
That's
oh yeah,
so many statutes.
Magic was a guy that was homegrown talent. He's a guy that's been around. He's a guy that did it the right way. Now LeBron changing teams.
if LeBron gets him a ring, they'll love him the
LeBron's
same.
new age Magic.
I
to be
don't know
fair.
about that because again, it's not in LA. It's not did you win? It's how many can you win us? Kobe had what 6? Magic, I think he had 4, 3, 2.
Kobe
I
had
can't remember
5.
my time. Kareem, I think had 6.
The
as
Lakers
well.
have been bad for so long. Like this 5-year stretch the Lakers are in, they're not used to this. They're not used to being this bad. They just want to go back to winning
What happens after
championships.
What happens after the 4 years that LeBron James the contract comes up? What if he leaves again?
I don't know. I'm not a future teller.
But
I
like,
would say
then they're just back in the same void where they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
I would
and
put
those
my
guys are
money
older,
on LeBron
4 years
leaving
older.
though, because
But,
every
like,
time that's what
Kawhi's
he's
in
done.
his prime. Like, come on, he's turning 27 in a couple weeks.
Okay, but is he healthy?
I think at this point he probably is.
We don't know. Again,
I mean,
he
he's
might
had-
think he is. What if he comes back game 1 just like Gordon Hayward? Snap.
Well, that could happen.
I
anytime.
would say,
but,
like,
like, or
don't
what
bring
if-
up
what if
those
the-
because
the
I'll just say
injury
the Warriors
flares back
just
up
go
again?
down in
Yeah.
like a plane crash.
But they haven't.
Problem solved.
But I'm saying
Guess the West is wide open now,
I'm saying
Sean.
let's
That's
look at
tragic.
history.
Yup.
Like let's look
That's
at history.
tragic.
Like I'm just looking back. Like yeah, Steph has had injury problems. They've dealt with it. They've gotten over it. But Kawhi Leonard just sat out a
Counting
whole
over, it's a
season.
rough term.
But I'm saying like they've gotten over it and won NBA titles.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like get over it. Like Kawhi Leonard had to sit out a whole season. So how healthy is he?
Was
Where's he
that because
mentally?
of an injury or was
We
that-
don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know what's happening.
I'm hypothetically asking though.
I don't know even hypothetically.
I'm thinking that's
Is
more
mac
of
and
like
cheese even
a.
real?
I'm injured because I don't want to play for you
Hypothetically.
guys.
What hypothetically happened in San Antonio?
I think
I don't know.
Popovich went around behind his back.
Did what? Cheated on his girlfriend? Like
Yep.
what's
That-
going on?
that-
Did pot Like Pop killing Uncle? Like what's going on?
That too.
Mob hits?
Yep,
What
all that.
went behind his back?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
That's
I don't
the
know
point.
what's going on with this Kawhi
The one
situation.
thing I will say
No
to
one
go...
knows.
It's pissing me off.
The one
No
thing
one
I will
knows. I
say
need
to
clarity.
go into that is I found it funny, and we mentioned it before earlier in the podcast, but when Mono came out and said the thing, like, oh, I came back with this injury, and Tony Parker, the thing I'm thinking about is that those two didn't think to say that. Pop put that thought in their head, and they were good foot soldiers for Pop. And because Pop couldn't come out and say it, he had them say it because then it sounds better.
Also, here's the thing. Kareem had 5 with the Lakers. He had 6 total, 1 with the Bucks. Kobe had 5. Magic had 6. No, Magic had 5. So, I mean, like, you're going to have to win multiple rings. If you're only there for 4 years and you leave LA,
think if he
that's
beats,
going to be a riot
if he
right
beats
there.
the KD Warriors, that's enough for LeBron, and he's...
Is it?
Why, though? Because then he still doesn't have enough...
Is any ring more important than the other?
I think he's done chasing the rings.
If he beats this Warriors team, and he gets a ring, is he better than Michael?
No. But
Okay.
I don't think...
So then
I
what
don't
does this
think,
help him?
Is
I
there a
don't
number
think-
of rings that
I
will
don't
make him
think
better?
he's not at the point where if we're talking Cleveland the first time,
But
he's chasing Jordan. He's not chasing Jordan anymore.
I'm talking legacy.
Yeah.
I'm talking
His
legacy. You're
legacy-
always going to be
There's no
chasing
point
Jordan.
when he will be better than Michael Jordan, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that his
Zero
legacy
chance.
is he's not chasing Jordan because he's not going to be better than Jordan at this
There's
point.
no chance.
Yes,
So if
because
he
the
rattles
people
off
that have
6
Jordan...
straight
So if he
rings.
wins 7
No,
rings,
no.
he's not better than Jordan because he wins 15 times?
Do you obviously see that happening?
But I'm saying
We're
there's
trying to
still a
find your meter.
possibility.
No,
We're
I'm
trying to find
saying,
where you're
and I'm
standing.
I'm not
telling
saying
you
right now.
that the people that, because I know there's some people that think that LeBron's the GOAT, and that's fine. You can think whatever you want. But for the people like myself who thinks Jordan's better, that legacy will never be changed no matter how many rings you win. So because of that,
If for the
I
next
don't
10
think,
seasons he wins rings, he's not going to be the GOAT.
Because of that, I don't think LeBron is worried about chasing Jordan. It's chasing beating the Warriors and getting
He already
a
beat
ring.
the Warriors, though.
Not the KD
Okay,
Warriors.
but he still beat the Warriors. So as that on his docket, the legacy
And even-
is
and
the
even
legacy
people
is
like
beating
myself
Jordan.
Bring that one down because, Draymond got suspended. I've said it forever.
The legacy is beating Jordan. So he needs to do whatever it takes to beat Jordan. So he's going to, and if he goes to LA, not only is it beating Jordan.
Then retire because you're not gonna.
Come on, Ricky.
I mean, that's...
You might be the
Why
only
even
person
play
if
the
he
sport
wins
of
10
basketball?
titles.
Just Adam Silver, shut it down. No one will ever beat Jordan. Why do we even have this sport anymore, people?
I hope they don't do that because then we don't have a podcast.
No, you just said it. There's no point to play the game because you can't beat Jordan.
Well, and
why try?
What I'm saying is in his head...
Pull it in.
His legacy,
Wrap it up.
He's not going to chase Jordan anymore. That's not in his mind.
What is he doing right now? What's his goal? Outside of beating the Warriors?
He's trying to
and
stay around long
And
enough.
what if he wants
does
to
it
go
look-
into that post-basketball, that mogul stage?
Does
like,
it, does
I
it
want to
look
go
cheap?
to the more Hollywood
He wants to play
side
with
of
his
it.
son, so he's playing
Yeah,
like 5
there's
he's just going to linger around.
He's playing 5 or 6 more years until that happens.
I'm telling you.
He can still do the mogul stuff while
But
playing.
here's he's already a mogul. He's LeBron fucking James. Like that guy's had a
Billions.
he's a Nike contract for life. Like he's already he's already in movies. The dude's already doing everything he wants. The one thing though is just like LeBron, like it's about building a legacy, and I don't think LA's the best place to do that because you already have to go up against legacies that are already built. Magic, Kareem, Kobe. You already have to go up if you're going to go to Chicago. You have to go up against Jordan already, so you're going to have to go up against every Chicago fan that already has Jordan in their hearts. Like it's not a bad thing, but again, you're going to have to go up against that.
Yeah.
You need to go and define yourself. You need to do something that people have
Go
not
somewhere
done.
people haven't won.
Philly, they've won before, but it's been a while. Like in the 1980s. New York, 1973. Let's go back to the
team
Rockets.
with a whole
Rockets
lot of
haven't won
money.
since 1994, 1995. Back to back, and that was Hakeem, and that was only because Jordan left. So, and one thing too with that is why go to the Western Conference? Because it feels like you're cheating it out too if you beat them in the Western Conference Finals and not the NBA Finals. If you're it's like the final boss level. If you need to go up against the Warriors to win the title. You need to go up against the Warriors to become the champion. Because the only thing that people are going to remember is that you won the Western Conference Finals.
What you're worried about?
What if you win the game against the Warriors and then you go up against Boston?
So what you're worried about is basically a Reggie Miller Knicks situation of we're so worried about beating the Knicks, we finally did, and then we lose in the next
Possibly.
round.
I'm just talking
like,
legacy.
I wish it would have just been the conference finals.
I feel like if he wants the legacy to happen, you need to go 3-2 against the Warriors or whatever, or 3-3. You need to beat them in the finals.
That's why he goes to Charlotte, wins with Dwight, which Kobe could not do, sets himself above Kobe, and under Jordan, Jordan lays his up, comes back in number 45, and goes for the championship.
Where's the tinfoil?
Let us know what you think about LeBron James, where you think he's going to go. Also, I do have a bet that if he goes to LA, I will be wearing myself a purple and gold face mask.
Face.
On the podcast where we talk about it. So it's going to be fun. Let us know where you think LeBron James is going to go during the offseason. Ricky thinks LA. You think Warriors. Oh, Charlotte. You're changing
No,
it now.
actually, you're right. Warriors.
Warriors, and
Warriors.
I'm thinking
that minimum Warriors.
I'm thinking he's going to the Rockets.